What's up, guys? You're watching NorCal Daily Driven. My name's Salim. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, I appreciate the click. If you're returning, I appreciate the click also. Anyway, I've been making videos and I've been trying to keep it going on a roll here. I got some time, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the wheel and tire setup on the car, right? So I haven't updated anybody on what's going on with the wheel and tire setup. I took the stock 19-inch front, 20-inch rear tire wheels and tires off because this car was getting no traction with all the new power that it makes. So if it's your first time on the channel, I got some bolt-ons on the car. It makes 700 wheel on E85 and it makes 620 wheel on 91 pump gas. Most of the time I run it on E85, so don't really have 91 in it unless I'm far from a pump, but there's a E85 pump right next to my house. So that's usually not an issue. Anyway, it makes too much power. The stock 20s, I was always spinning the tires. I had Michelin Pilot Super Sports on it. It would have to be like an 85 plus degree day for it to get any traction. And that basically makes your car useless here in the winter because it usually gets down to, I know our winter, right, California, gets down to like 50 degrees at night or whatever. And when you're going to Mexico and you want to make sure that your car stands a chance, you got to make sure you got all the traction you could get. Anyway, I didn't want to make any trade-offs as far as the handling of the vehicle. I mean, this is a sports car. It's not a drag car for me. I want it to be an all-around performer. I want it to do well in a straight line. I want it to do well in the turns too. So drag radials were out of the question. I had some drag radials on it for like a day and a half. I didn't like the way it drove. There was a wobble to it. I don't know if that's normal or not. Some people tell me it's normal. Some people tell me that, they were old or whatever. Like I said, didn't want to deal with it. So the next best thing I found was Toyo R888R tires. A lot of the high horsepower super guys run these and they're making like 800-900 horsepower, given the fact that they're not making as much torque as the ZR1 does because we have a positive displacement blower and they got a turbo that has to spool up. So usually their power is all on top and they don't have the torque, and the torque is what, breaks traction. I'm not saying those guys don't lose traction at over 100 miles an hour because I've seen Supras do that. They're crazy. But I'm just saying, when I'm hitting a 40 roll, I need traction. And I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. All these other guys are making it work. I'm not looking to be a dig racer in Mexico or at the track. I like to have fun in Mexico, and it usually starts about at a 40 roll. So I got CCW wheels. Let me show it to you real quick. So I got CCW C10 wheels. They're 18 by 13 inch wide in the rear, 18 by 11 inch wide in the front. The rear is wrapped in a 335 3018 Toyo R888R. The front is a 295 3018 R888R. They're basically road course tires. They're 200 treadwear rated tires. I think they're 200 treadwear rated tires. Might be a little lower. Anyway, the road course tires, but they do really well on the street. They heat up really fast, so I mean within 10 minutes of just normal driving, maybe one test hit or whatever, you're good to go. I've tested these tires in 48 degree weather, maybe 2 test hits, and I mean it's getting all the traction. No issues. I'm hitting 40 rolls, 50 rolls, 60 rolls, whatever, it's getting all the traction. Now that it's warmer, we're here in the summer months, never have to worry about traction at any point. Like I said, one test hit, maybe a 10-minute drive. Usually you're driving 10 minutes to get to where you need to go anyway, and it's ready to go. So it's a good trade-off for people who don't want to get drag radials and have more than stock power, and they want to get traction. I know guys that have posted on the Facebook page for ZR1 saying that on the stock 20s they put R888Rs. I think they're a little taller than factory. So they're probably 325 30 20s or something like that. Or I know it's a 30 series tire in the rear, not a 25, so it makes it a little bit taller. But I mean, some guy was saying that he's hooking 800 wheel horsepower in Florida in 60 plus degree weather. I mean, if you could hook 800 wheel horsepower in a ZR1 on a 20-inch wheel, I mean, I say that's pretty good. That's a win for the R888Rs. So to show you some proof, I've been doing some fooling around in Mexico with a couple of cars. So I'm gonna show you a couple of videos here. I have 2 videos against some bolt-on GTRs on E85, and one is against a heads cam C6 Corvette, C6 Z06 Corvette. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, so there's a black GTR that I'm gonna run. That one has full bolt-ons. So full bolt-ons for a GTR usually means intake, downpipe, full exhaust, tune, and E85. So usually on that setup, GTRs make about 630 to about 650 wheel horsepower, depending on who tuned it, whatever the setup is. Some of these guys like to claim lower horsepower, but I don't buy it. Most well put together full bolt-on GTRs make around 630 to 650 wheel horsepower on E85. One guy is a real good friend of mine. He owns a shop close by. He's always wanted to just, go at it for fun. So obviously anytime he wants to go, I'll give him a chance. And I'll let you see the video to come to a conclusion of what's going on here. And then there's another guy, he likes to go to Mexico a lot with a lot of other vehicles, and he posts it on his Instagram, and I don't know, a lot of people think that it's super fast and nothing can beat it. So he wanted to give it a run, so I gave him a shot against the ZR1, and obviously you'll see what happens in that video. And then another local guy, he's got a heads cam C6Z. It makes about 590 wheel horsepower. If you know anything about C6Zs, heads cam car is already a monster. They got longer gears than a ZR1, and they weigh about 200, maybe a little 220 pounds less than a ZR1. So that car really surprised me. It puts up one hell of a fight. It's too close for comfort, if you ask me. It kind of makes you want to add a couple more mods, just to keep the gap a little further, if that gives you a hint of what's going on here. But all in all great runs. This car performs really well. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself, but I mean, I could take this thing out at any time, start it right up, go out there, beat on it, put it away wet. And that's what I love about this car, is just every time I need it, it performs. It's solid, it's reliable, and I know I'm saying this, and I'm probably going to jinx myself, something's going to come up, and I hope it doesn't, but that's just how the car game goes. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you an update on the wheel and tire setup. So I'm going to show you some of the clips of the Mexico runs. Hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, here we go. Count it again, bro. I didn't see the count. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed those clips. You saw how the ZR1 stacks up against the competition. I also wanted to add that getting this wheel and tire setup is a huge weight savings, and if you know anything about unsprung mass, any weight that you save basically on the hub of the vehicle, it like amplified by I don't know how many times or whatever about regular weight savings. So if you were to like, I don't know, get a carbon fiber hood or something that weighed 20 pounds less, if your wheels weigh 20 pounds less, it's more like, I don't know, 40 pounds less or something overall. It's just how it works out. If you want to know the math into it, just look it up, unsprung weight. Anyway, so on the rear, I weighed the stock setup, and it was like 60 pounds, and I think this rear setup is like 49 pounds. So you save about 11 pounds in the rear, and in the front, it's something like 5 pound weight saving wheel and tire combination compared to the original setup. So that's 22 and 10, saving like 32 pounds, and that's pretty good, especially you know, when it comes to unsprung weight, like I was saying. And it's huge, and I'm sure it helps out a lot, especially on acceleration. I mean, this thing just rips and takes off. I mean, if I was just changing just the wheels, I would probably notice what the difference was, but since I didn't, and it was wheels and tires and all this other stuff going on at once, I just know that, you know, it hooks up and it accelerates really hard because I got more grip now. But yeah, these are CCW C10s. There's only a few companies that make wheels, 18-inch wheels that fit the ZR1. So CCW makes a couple set of wheels. I know the C10s are these ones. Then the C14 is another setup that they make. It's 14 spokes instead of 10 spokes. That's what that stands for. Forgestar, Forgestar, they make a couple setups. So the CF5 comes in a ZR1 offset and 18-inch setup or whatever that'll clear the calipers. That's why I keep saying that only a few people make the 18s that fit the ZR1, because they fit over the stock calipers. A lot of these guys are shaving their brake calipers in order to fit 17-inch wheels just to get more tire on there, and I do not want to do that. I'm not shaving my carbon ceramic brakes or the calipers that make up this carbon ceramic brake package. I mean, they already cost a ton of money. There's no point to go to that extent. I am not a dig racer. I'm not a drag racer. I don't need that kind of traction. These work just as fine for me. So like I was saying, Forgestar, CCW, Forge Line, there's really expensive wheels. These are pretty expensive too, but luckily I got a used deal on them, pretty good setup. And then there's one other, Forgestar, CCW, Forge Line, and then you get, like, you know, crazy setups or whatever, like Advans or not Advans, ADV wheels, these custom wheel setups or something like that. But there's only a few companies that make wheel setups that fit this. And now Forgestar has an 18-inch bead lock. I'm not sure how well that'll come into play for some people. I know some people want to go to the drag strip. They say the tire moves on the wheel like an inch or whatever. The bead lock's supposed to help that. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys some info on the wheels as well, because I know getting wheels for a ZR1 is pretty hard, especially on the fronts, because that's the larger caliper. I'll give you an idea of how well it fits in there. I mean, it's pretty tight against the actual barrel, but I mean, I got tons of clearance where it comes to the spokes. I don't know if you could see that. It's a black wheel and it's pretty dirty right now. But anyway, that's the information on the wheels. I'm hopefully getting a few more runs in here with some other guys in Mexico. There's a guy that's got 1,000 wheel horsepower, Terminator Cobra. I want to see how that goes. Obviously, I don't really care. I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm not going to race that guy because I'm going to lose or whatever. I just run it to run it, right? You want to have fun, you go to Mexico, you run it against whoever. I'm not the type of guy that bets on them either, so I really don't care. It's always fun runs for me, so I just want to see how it does. There's another guy with the Grand Sport, C6 Grand Sport. It's got a blower on it, makes like 950. I already know that it's not going to be anywhere close, but for some reason he's asking me to race him in Mexico. And I mean, if things work out, we'll definitely line it up. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. It was a quick video. Hopefully I got some more coming up here soon. Like always, I appreciate you guys hitting that play button. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and stay up to date with, you know, the next mod or the next video. So until next time, guys, have a good one.